And so listen, sometime real soon, we're going to do this again, like we're doing it right now, and we will declare a victory. Guys, hang in with me. Thank you all so very, very much. Thank you.
That was Republican Jack Ciattarelli addressing his supporters in New Jersey on election night in 2021. Ciattarelli would eventually concede the Democratic incumbent Phil Murphy, but that victory he promised nearly 4 years ago is possibly within reach. Ciattarelli is once again the Republican nominee for governor of New Jersey, and he is with me now. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to start with this idea of this is your third time running for this position, but I am curious if there's anything that you have seen, either in what you've seen in the electorate, in politics lately, that seems to show a door opening for you, an opportunity this time.
For sure, Caitlin. I mean, all of the issues that we were talking about in 21 were kind of simmering, but the pandemic was taking center stage. So those same issues have come to a complete boil right now in New Jersey: the affordability crisis, the public safety crisis, public education crisis, overdevelopment in our suburbs, and of course the energy crisis. Our monthly electric bills are going through the roof. So the issues have gone from a simmer to a boil. What has changed is that there's a lot less indifference this time around. We were the spark that lit the fuse back in 21 with our very close race. Trump ran pretty well in New Jersey last November. People now know in New Jersey and across the nation that a Republican can win the governorship here in New Jersey. Party registrations. The difference between Republicans and Democrats in our state over the last 4 years has gotten better by 300,000 for the Republican Party. And I'm not running against an incumbent this time around. And as I said, there's no pandemic this time. So I feel really confident about our chances, but we got a lot of work to do, and we'll get it done over the next 4 months.
And so you mentioned the Trump factor. Several years ago, you were very, very critical of the president, calling him a charlatan. I'm wondering what has changed. I mean, he has endorsed you now, and you've changed your views of him. But why?
That was 2015, Caitlin, and J.D. Vance said some things. Today's the vice president. Marco Rubio said some things. Today's the secretary of state. Donald Trump was very successful in his first term in terms of the economy, the border, peace in the Middle East. And this time around, he's taking positions that are critically important to New Jerseyans. He's put a temporary halt on the wind farms off the Jersey Shore. We overwhelmingly support that in New Jersey. In North Jersey, he's beaten up on the New York Democrats over their congestion pricing plan. I think that's an egregious money grab. They should not be fixing their subway system on the backs of New Jerseyans. The president's fighting them on that. And he's willing to quadruple the SALT deduction on our federal tax returns. Being able to deduct our property taxes on our federal tax return is critically important because we pay the highest property taxes in the country. I'll fix that as governor. And I don't want to hear anyone else from any other state saying, why are we subsidizing New Jersey? Fact of the matter is, we've been subsidizing 48 other states for decades. We're a donor state. We send way more to Washington, D.C. than we get back.
You're referring to the big, beautiful bill, which includes a higher deduction for state and local taxes, at least in the version that's being talked about now. On that note, though, you mentioned that, in New Jersey, people are still bearing the brunt of this economy. How is it so that under the Trump administration, a Republican governor hopeful is talking about that? I mean, have things not been able to change under Trump?
Well, it certainly would change if he were to quadruple the SALT deduction. I mean, we used to be able to deduct 100% of our property tax on our federal tax return. I think we should be able to do so again. And as governor, I'm going to certainly fight to allow people to deduct 100% of their property taxes on their New Jersey tax return. But the current administration continues to raise spending, continues to raise taxes. Talk about squeezing the middle class. The most recent budget introduced by the Governor Murphy here in New Jersey, which is supported by my opponent, increases taxes now on bowling, batting gauges, golf ranges, interior design, laser tag, trading in a used car, massages. I mean, talk about crunching the middle class. They're doing it over and over again. So I'll reduce the size and cost of our state government to afford a tax cut for individuals and for our businesses. Right now, New Jersey is ranked the worst place in the country to do business. You can't grow your economy if you're ranked the worst place in the country to do business because of our high business taxes and all the regulations. I think we can lower the taxes and cut out some of the regulations, and we could do that without screwing the consumer or doing irreparable harm to the environment.
I do want to pivot quickly to Iran because that is the news of the day. You have voiced support for the president's decision on those strikes in Iran. But your opponent, Mikey Sherrill, who is a congresswoman, said she's deeply concerned that the president acted without congressional authorization. I'm curious what your thoughts are about today's retaliatory strike from Iran at that base in Qatar.
Now, what my opponent is most concerned with, Caitlin, is pandering to the far left element of her party that's been anti-Israel and doesn't stand up against anti-Semitism and alike, which is at an all-time high in New Jersey. Listen, Iran has always been a place that has harbored, provided safe harbor for terrorists. Those terrorists wish ill will on Israel. October 7th is what started this war. Israel is a sovereign nation that has a role in protecting its citizen and protecting its sovereignty and making sure that its country is safe. And I think that the president's doing the right thing and pushing back on a country that seems to say it's okay to be a terrorist.
How would that issue be significant for a New Jersey voter voting in an election for governor? Why would that issue be something that voters might have on their minds in your election?
You know, as I go around the state, Caitlin, each and every day, what's on the minds of New Jerseyans are property taxes, the affordability crisis, being able to keep the roof over their head, the monthly electric bill going up 20%, overdevelopment in our suburbs, New Jersey slipping from 2 to 12 on the national report card, lack of support for law enforcement. I mean, over the Memorial Day weekend, we had flash mobs on our Jersey shore. And now we have curfews because of these flash mobs. How would you like to be a business person on the Jersey Shore? You only have 3 months out of the year to make your living, and now we've taken 2 hours out of each day away from you because we're shutting down the boardwalk at 9 o'clock at night. This is all the result of Murphy administration policies, all of which have been supported by my opponent. It all changes when I win the governorship this November. This race is about New Jersey.
All right. Well, all eyes will be watching New Jersey this November. We thank you so much for your time. We'll be following this race closely. Jack Ciattarelli, thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.